Hi everyone, it's Hardeep again. Okay, so part two of the series is going to be some suggestions on what to say to your child about COVID-19. Now, of course, these are only suggestions, and you know your child the best in terms of how to get this information to them. So you utilize these as you kind of need to. So I have some notes here because this is a little bit of a longer video. So first of all, what you want to do is you always want to remind your kids that you're here to talk and listen. You want to ask them questions if they don't say anything, because what that does is it conveys to them that you will be there when they are ready to maybe say some things or talk about some stuff. So, different questions like, how are you doing? What's the most the biggest thing that you've been missing? Oh man, I've been missing this. How about you? Things like that, so that we can just make sure we're putting the conversation on the table all the time. So they have that ability to know you're going to be there for the hard stuff when they are ready to talk about it. When they do ask questions, we want to make sure that we're telling them the truth. Sometimes it's good to even ask them first, well, what do you think? That can be helpful, keeping things simple based on their developmental age. And then if you don't know, say that you don't know. This is a time when we can model the idea of uncertainty and not really knowing. And our kids are going to have lots of uncertain times in their lives. And so if they can know that sometimes it's okay not to know, number one, and to have to wait and see, that can help them, learn that for themselves for the future. Also, saying the same thing, you might have to say the same thing over and over again. So kids might be really frustrated about lots of different things. I can't see my friends. I can't go to school. I can't, have my birthday party. I can't see my extended family, etc. And they might ask you that a million times over. It's annoying, but I get it. But you be patient, settle yourselves first, do some self-care so that you can be patient around that when they are asking those things. And then I guess they might start asking some more scary questions. Things like, what if you get sick? What if, grandparents get sick, etc.? What if you die? Like those kinds of worrisome questions. And I found that the best thing to do in that is the first thing is to validate and hear them and to recognize that is a hard feeling to have. And number one, you want to remind them that family is the top priority. That's why we're staying home, to keep ourselves safe. If we do get sick, we'll do everything we can to make sure that we are getting better. And if we get really, really sick, there are doctors and nurses out there that are going to help us feel better. It's naturally going to be a scary time if that does happen. You never want to say, well, that's never going to happen. Don't worry about it. Those are invalidating statements, and you don't want to say that just in case something does happen. So just listening, giving them the space to talk about it, usually is enough to settle, especially the younger ones. Now, if you're an essential worker, I honor that. Thank you so much for doing everything that you do. This can be hard. This can be hard to leave your kids every single day. And they might have extra worries for you. So that is, again, a lot of validation. And sometimes you also don't have to have an answer. So you don't need to know all the things that, we have said already, but they might be able to just hear that I get this. This is hard, and I don't know the answer. All I know is I'm going to try to keep myself as safe as I can, right? But you always want to be truthful and simple and be able to support your kids in these kinds of ways through validation, etc. The last thing that I wanted to speak about is around behavior. So I remember a long time ago, I worked with a psychiatrist who always said, behavior is a language of children. And so you may see increased behaviors in your kids, right? So a child who was previously going to bed no problem is now not able to, or waking up in the middle of the night. They might have some, struggles around just their emotional arousal is really high, the stress level that they may be feeling. this is all natural, right, for them. So again, you're getting down to their eye level, you're helping them breathe, you're helping them regulate, you're validating, giving them a hug. It makes sense that they are feeling so discombobulated, and it's okay. Now, some things you may need to pay more attention to are behaviors such as, and I have these in my notes here, trouble falling asleep, like really intensely, or staying asleep, lots of emotional outbursts or crying, screaming, anger, intrusive thoughts or worries, reoccurring fears about illness or death and dying, separation anxiety, changes to their eating habits, or listlessness. So you do know that there are people out there that are available to support. So Rock is a wonderful resource. They have a crisis line that we will link, that we can, there's lots of supports available for parents who are feeling like extra worried for their children. So reach out and ask for the help. But these are, like I said, these are some suggestions that may be helpful for parents. These are also listed in written form, but we wanted to do a video as well, just so that people have them and just to honor learning different learning styles. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this was helpful.